Good afternoon. Welcome to Daily Currency Update from the Currency Desk. In terms of the Indian rupee, on Friday we had a major appreciation in the value of Indian rupee against the US dollar, against the euro, pound and the Japanese yen as well. This was mainly because of the fact that we had some support being shown by the Samajwadi Party for the Congress. So all in all, there were some expectations that the new reforms being announced by the Congress would sustain and the government would not fall. So all in all, this turned out to be slightly positive for the Indian rupee, and we saw the Indian rupee touch a 4-month high, which was around 53.48. Again, we had a positive announcement from the government, wherein the foreign currency loans had a cut down in the tax rate from 20% to just 5%. So this would encourage a lot of inflows of foreign currency into our country in terms of loans. Again, we had approximately 2% appreciation in the Indian rupee on Friday. Today in the morning session, we again witnessed appreciation of Indian rupee, and for a brief while the rupee also touched a high of 53.10 against the US dollar. But yes, what needs to be seen in the near term is whether the optimism around the global financial markets would continue and whether the current ruling party would garner enough support to actually implement all its reforms. So all in all, our view on dollar currently remains bearish, but we would recommend to hold short positions at current levels with a stop loss of 53.52 in the spot, and in the near term we can target 53. If the rate crosses below 53, we can as well target 52.85 levels in the spot. In terms of euro, we saw slight stabilization and depreciation in the value of euro, not only against the US dollar but also against the Indian rupee as well. We had euro standing up at a 4.5-month high, but we saw it fall below 1.30 levels. So this seems to be slightly technically bearish for the euro. This was mainly on the basis of speculation that Spain would again announce a formal or apply for a formal bailout package. There have also been news sources citing that near Thursday there would be a formal announcement by Spain for a full-fledged bailout package request. Also, due to this, we expect the euro dollar pair to remain under pressure, and we can see depreciation in the euro value against the dollar against the Indian rupee as well. What remains key to the bailout package currently is the rising bond yields. If the bond yields again rise to unsustainable levels, wherein these countries cannot actually raise funds from the public, we would well see Spain announcing a formal bailout request. In terms of pound, we saw the pound against the dollar retreat from 13-month high of 1.63 levels. So all in all, we had some bad data for pound, which was the public borrowing, which turned out to be near highs. Also, we had the deficit data which came in negative and were not as per expectation, were not as good as expected. So if such negative data outflow continues from the UK economy, all in all, fundamentally the trend for dollar would remain, the pound would remain downside, not only against the dollar but also against the Indian rupee. So also we have a few macroeconomic data coming up in the current week, and today also we had the German IFO business climate data, wherein the business climate data was not as per expectations, and again we saw the euro fall against the US dollar. In terms of euro, the current trend does remain bearish, and one can initiate fresh sell below 68.70 levels in the spot. In terms of pound also, the trend currently remains bearish. We have already seen the pound against the Indian rupee fall down from lifetime highs of around 89, and right now the first support for the pound against the Indian rupee is at 86.15. So all in all, pound and euro would move on the basis of the macro economic data that we have seen. In terms of Japanese yen, we saw slight recovery of the Japanese yen against the US dollar and against the Indian rupee as well. This was after a major fall in their currency, which was mainly attributed to the Bank of Japan announcing new monetary stimulus for the economy on Wednesday. So all in all, we can see the Japanese yen trading in the range of 78 to 79 against the US dollar. So this would also mean that we could see some sideways movement in the Japanese yen against Indian rupee at present. So we see the trend turning strongly bearish in the Japanese yen against the Indian rupee below 67.80 levels in the spot. Also in the week ahead, the global macroeconomic scenario would also be crucial for the Japanese yen value. Currently, the US consumer sentiment data, the Spain bailout package, the Spain bailout request, such data would be eyed continuously by the traders in the Japanese yen. So, if we have any short positions in Japanese yen, we would recommend a stop loss of 68.23 in the spot levels. Thank you.